Okay, once again, it's Ron Carty here from the Expat Club saying welcome everybody. Here we are on a Tuesday at Hotel Barracuda, and as always, I'm interviewing our speaker today. Wasn't a speaker, he was interviewed, but I'm privileged, right, to introduce Brian Jacks. Brian, would you like to say hello to everybody?
Pleased to meet you, everybody, and I hope you enjoy our little chat we're going to have now, and I hope the other guys have enjoyed it today.
Well, they did indeed.
And thank you very much for inviting me. It's been a pleasure.
It's our pleasure. As you know, we interview a lot of people, but very few as well-renowned as Brian, I've got to say. No, it's true, mate. It's true.
Nice. Thank you.
It's true. One of the reasons he was here because we got his book that's available to everybody. But it really gives me a chance just to say a couple of things that we spoke about during our interview. So we started off about going right back to your early days at the beginning of your career. Would you like to just tell everybody a little bit about that?
Yeah, my dad was a taxi driver in London. He was a bit worried about keeping fit and looking after himself and protecting himself in the cab. And he started doing judo back in 1954.
Whoa, yeah.
And he got his black belt very, very quickly.
Whoa.
He was invited into the London taxi drivers team to compete against the Metropolitan Police.
Yeah.
I never knew he did judo. I was only young. I was only like 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, of course.
And then he invited me along to the town hall. It was one of the big places.
Yeah.
And they had the taxi drivers against the Metropolitan Police. He won his competition very quickly.
You said that.
And I got really excited about judo because he literally bowed and took hold of the policeman and threw this big policeman so quickly. It got me interested.
No, fantastic. And then you mentioned very soon, I think when you were 15 or something, you went to Japan, was that right? On your own?
That's right, yeah. I obviously did judo then and became British junior champion.
Whoa.
At the age of 14.
Bloody brilliant.
And then when I was just on my 15th birthday, my dad said, go to Japan and learn in Japan, where judo is all about.
And you went there all on your own?
Went all on my own, on a plane, hopped here, hopped there, all the way across to Japan. I arrived there on my 15th birthday and stayed for just under 2 years. Came back home, got in the Olympic trials, won the Olympic trials, and went back to Japan for the 64 Olympics. So.
Now that's what you call a good start of a career. And then
trouble is, there's no money in it.
Oh well, I know that. Yeah, but then just talk about your victories or rivalries, unexpected things, all to do with judo. What actually did you achieve? Just to clarify.
Well, when I came back from Japan, I was only just before my 17th birthday, and my dad, he was very good at judo.
Yeah,
he was a black belt in his own right, in any case, and he identified the fact that my judo was very, very good, but I weren't strong enough. That was the problem. So he put me on a training program, weight training program, and to get a bit of muscle on. And then we went into the Olympic trials in 1964, and fortunately I was the youngest in it and came first.
Brilliant.
Out of there was 24 people entered.
Whoa.
In the final match.
Yeah.
It was a round robin, everybody fought each other, and I ended up winning the place.
And then you went on to your...
went back to Tokyo in 64, so I came back in 63, went back in 64, competed in the Olympic. Unfortunately, I got drawn with the Olympic gold medalist in 64 in the first round, but I won one fight and lost one, which I was very pleased with at the age of 15, 16.
I think brilliant. Well, it's more than quite good. It's very good, okay? But you spoke about your dad being a huge influence on your career, which was impressive. And really, you had this Olympic fame, but then came what I would like to call worldwide fame through Superstars. Would you like to talk about how do you get involved in Superstars? Well, or explain exactly quickly what Superstars was and then how you got involved.
Superstars is a programme that was concocted by the BBC. And what they wanted to do was take people from different sports.
Right.
Every sport you can think of, bring them together.
Put them all in,
And then make them compete in different sports. So you weren't allowed to compete in your own sport.
Oh, interesting.
For instance, if I was a basketball player, I wasn't allowed to do the basketball dribble.
Okay.
If you were a gymnast, you weren't allowed to do the gym test and so on.
Yeah, interesting.
And then they had the round robin of the 10 events. You did each event individually, like the weightlifting,
Yeah.
and they did gym tests and all different sports. And I was lucky. I was a sports teacher in any case. I'd qualified as a school teacher. I
Yeah.
was teaching at college, college students at that particular time, and I identified the fact that if you're going to do something, do
Yeah.
it properly. You
I
know what mean?
agree.
It's like you know your job. You're a great interviewer, but you know how to interview.
Right.
You've got to learn it, and you've got to.
Yeah, I
think
agree.
You've got to do it properly, and that's what I sat with my dad, and he said,
Yeah.
"Well, we do this and we do that," and we worked everything out scientifically. I
No.
mean, simple things like there's a thing called squat thrust where you go
Right.
down in a
Yeah,
press
yeah,
up
you
position,
mentioned this.
You bring
Yeah,
your
yeah.
legs backwards and
Yeah.
forwards. Everybody did it on their hands flat.
Yeah.
If you bring your hands
did it,
up,
yeah.
it brings you further away, which allows more room for your legs to go
Interesting,
through, and
eh?
you can do it quicker. So even on the bike, racing on the bike, we measured the distance between the
Interesting.
saddle and the paddle,
Unreal.
the handlebars to how far you reach forward. So you got maximum power
Yeah.
on the machine.
Interesting.
And canoeing, for instance. I mean, I didn't realise I went in canoeing, and I'm paddling.
Yeah,
along
yeah,
like-
yeah, of course, you
like
would
this,
do,
know,
you
boom,
would
boom, boom,
do.
boom. And then the instructor said to me, he said, "It's not about how fast you can do it. It's about how far you reach forward and pull the
Yeah.
water." Reach forward and pull.
Ah.
And when I got into the actual competition, I saw other people going.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I thought this is so easy. I just paddle past them, you know.
Bloody brilliant.
But,
No, excellent. You had, but you just mentioned a little word earlier. You were lucky. You weren't lucky. Luck stands for labour under controlled knowledge.
Yeah.
And so, you've made your own luck for your entire career. No, bloody brilliant. And then one of the things that a lot of the audience was interested in, there's a thing that was called "This Is Your Life" in England, and you were a victim of that, or I'd like to call victim. But would you explain really what This Was Your Life was?
I was invited along to a hotel. When I got there, Eamon Andrews turned up and said, "Brian Jacks, this is your life." And
Interesting.
I didn't know a thing about it.
Yeah.
And then the very same day, later on in the evening, I was at the show and all my family were there.
Excellent.
People that I'd been with the day before and the weeks before.
They kept
and
it all
never
from you.
nobody
Bloody
said a
brilliant.
word
Okay.
about it.
Interesting.
And they bring all the people during your life, all the different sportsmen I've
Yes.
met, like Dave Boyd Green, the
Yeah,
boxer. was on
interesting.
there,
Oh,
and
yeah,
all these
yeah,
different
yeah.
people come on. Brian Blessed from,
Yeah, okay.
from the acting
Yeah.
Brian. Many people who they brought along that had been involved in my life.
Yeah.
It was lovely. It was a wonderful.
It
wonderful
would
thing
be.
to
Just
do.
let me explain. This you're not. It's for special people. For people that have done tremendous things, which really sums up Brian's career. And then, of course, you ended up in Thailand some 15 years ago. Is that right?
Yeah.
No, longer than that.
Like 24 years.
24 years ago. Very quickly, what made you came here? Keep it short because you spent a lot of time on this one, and keep it clean. But why you stayed here as well?
I was on my way back from training in Japan.
Yeah.
In 1971, and the plane broke down. We landed in Bangkok, it broke down, and then they had to send back for another plane, so we got landed for 2 nights, basically. And when I was here, it reminded me of Japan back in the
Interesting,
in the 60s,
yeah, can you imagine?
when I lived there, because the people looked a bit similar.
Yeah.
The weather's beautiful, the food
Yeah,
was lovely.
yeah.
All sorts of things reminded me of Japan. and
I can see.
It just drew me back here
It
all
would
the time.
do.
It kept drawing me back. And it's just a wonderful
And this
place.
is your life here, and you do a lot for the community as well.
Yeah, quite. We try to.
Well, not try to. You do a lot.
Yeah,
You
we
know.
fed over 30,000 people
Listen to this.
throughout
Fed
the,
over 30,000 people. No small feat. So really, very
that was
impressive.
during the
COVID, or
COVID
yes,
period.
yeah.
Mark, my very good friend who wrote
Yeah.
my book, Brian Jack's
Yeah.
book, the Superstar book. Mark, who wrote it, organised all the money, collected all the
Yeah.
money from different
Excellent,
companies
yes.
and so on. And what we did is we gave all the money that we collected to macros.
Okay, yeah.
So we could only go and buy food for the
Oh,
people
good
in
idea.
Macros.
Yeah.
And we bought packs and packs and packs of food. The girls at my apartments, which I have in Pattaya,
Yeah.
the girls that work there bagged it all up. So they had a big bag of rice, and there was a parcel of stuff that would last the family like 4 or 5
Yeah.
days of food. and we gave them away. We gave thousands of them away,
Yeah.
thousands, literally.
Interesting, really. And listen, I've got to finish because...
Thanks to the British Chamber of Commerce, in fact.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned, yes.
They were one of our biggest sponsors. They
Oh, that's
sponsored us
good.
with a lot of money. The British Chamber of Commerce did us very, very proud.
That's good. And look, you spoke about your sporting career when you were younger, but you're at a certain age now. The expats are all similar ages, so, and then you finish with a bit of advice for everybody that really falls into our category. And a lot of the viewers are the same. What was your advice to everybody?
What about keeping fit? You mean?
Yes.
Well, you just got to keep fit.
That's the
basically.
one.
That's the advice. You've got to keep your body fit, because if your body's fit, your mind gets fit with it. And like every day, I go cycling every morning. I play golf 3 times a week. I do a lot of swimming, and I keep active. And I'm 78 in a couple of months'
Well,
time. So
congratulations.
we're the same age.
Same.
aren't we?
Yeah. Can you keep that quiet? I'll tell everybody I'm 35.
Oh, you're in good shape as well.
Oh, well,
You're not fat or over.
No, you've got to look
You've got
after
to keep-
yourself.
yeah,
You've got to look
keep
after
in
yourself.
trim, haven't you? That's
Yeah,
the main
yeah.
point.
Well, Brian Jacks, wrestler, magician, superstar. This is your certificate,
Thank you.
okay?
Thanks for that.
Congratulations.
I hope you've
and-
enjoyed it today. as
Of
well.
course we did. And look, everybody, once again, Expat Club every Tuesday, Hotel Barracuda, come along and meet fantastic people like Brian. So
It's been a
that-
wonderful morning.
excellent. Good. See you next week.